My name is Natalie, and I was a reporter in 2013 covering the papal conclave. And here's another thing I will never forget about my experience. When the white smoke went up, the cell service went down. There are lots of people in St. Peter's Square for each of the voting sessions, in the morning and in the evening. On March 13th, around 7 p.m., we were waiting for that voting session to see what smoke came out of the chimney over the Sistine Chapel. Well, for a couple seconds, it's black smoke, and there is a gasp that goes through the crowd, and it like ripples back. Then it turns gray. Then finally, you see the white smoke start to come out of this chimney. People realize it's white smoke, and a roar ripples through the crowd. It's a happy, hopeful jolt of electricity roar. And people are waving flags, they're crying, they're jumping up and down, they're hugging each other. The excitement is so loud that people outside Vatican City can hear the cheering. And so they come running in droves into St. Peter's Square to see the white smoke for themselves. So as the area around the obelisk fills up really fast, you have a crowd now building and building down Via della Conciliazione. That's the road that leads up to St. Peter's Basilica.
We are outside of St. Peter's Square, where tens of thousands of people have just rushed into the square.
And I think it was reported about 150,000 people loaded into this very small area very, very quickly. For 7 minutes, that white smoke is billowing out of the chimney and the bells are ringing, drawing more and more people into this area. And that's when it happens. The cell phone signal goes. The backpack that we're using to transmit the video from Rome to New Jersey isn't working. So the white smoke, the bells, the people running into St. Peter's Square, it's not going. So we take the SD card out of the camera, because of course we've been recording the whole time. Take that out, hand it off to the producer. The producer is running full speed. By the way, it's raining. It's been raining for 2 days. Running full speed back to the apartment, which is about a 13-minute walk away from where we are in St. Peter's Square. He's got to run back to the apartment to connect to the Wi-Fi at the apartment to send the video from the SD card back to the television studio in New Jersey. In the meantime, myself, a translator, and another cameraman, we are at the camera recording to another SD card while the white smoke continues, the bells continue. We're interviewing people as they're reacting, hopeful, cheerful. We're talking to priests, we're talking to nuns, we're talking to people from New Jersey, we're talking to people from Australia. I mean, we're talking to everybody. And then you see the banner get unfolded off the balcony, signaling that the new pope is coming out to speak for the first time. And you can barely see the Pope. I mean, he looks like a little speck, little speck. He's so high up. So forget the phones in 2013, right? There's no way your unsmart phone was going to video record Pope Francis coming to that balcony for the first time, even if you wanted to. So you didn't have people like this when he came to the balcony. You had people with big cameras, like DSLR cameras and video cameras zooming in, but really your eyes are bouncing back and forth from these giant screens set up in St. Peter's Square to see Pope Francis speaking, and then back up to the balcony where you're like, nope, I still can't see him, and back to the screen. But you don't want to miss the real thing that's happening because it's a historic moment, but you're watching it on a screen and your mind is trying to make up where to look. It's such an unbelievable moment. So here's the thing that I'm really interested in during this conclave. Our phones are super smart now, and you can take video and stream it live to any social media platform. X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. And people will absolutely be doing that. But will the cell phone service hold up? Because in 2013, our phones weren't very smart, and that cell service dropped dramatically. I think the most popular phones in 2013 were the iPhone 5, Samsung Galaxy S4, and this one, the one that I use, the HTC one. To put it in perspective, on this phone, You have two options for visuals. You have photo and camcorder. It wasn't even photo and video at the time. You selected camcorder on this phone to take video in 2013. And you weren't sending it to Facebook. You were doing some tweeting, maybe with a photo to Twitter from St. Peter's Square. So it's a completely different situation.